good evening, everybody. I hope you're doing okay. How are you? How is everybody? Got a couple of shows cancelled tonight. We got the 9 o'clock one cancelled, so this is the last one for tonight. Oh yes. And Melissa um, will be on now. Hello, Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Uh-huh.
How are you?
I'm great.
Oh,
I just did another podcast for somebody in the UK earlier this morning, my time.
all right. Well, I interviewed them, have I?
Hmm?
So you had a podcast just now.
Yeah, I just did one for another podcaster earlier.
All right. Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you so much for coming on.
Sure.
Okay, guys, don't forget, we're on radio, so please, if you leave a comment, please put something in your left-hand column. And if you want to share anything to us on podcast, please put it in the right-hand column. Please don't get mixed up. You know by now, anyway. Okay, and thank you very much for joining me again tonight. Melissa, are you, what can I say? Um, whereabouts are you from? I get some idea.
Where I'm from originally?
Yeah,
I'm from Hong Kong originally. I was born and raised in Hong Kong before I moved to the United States in 1991.
gosh, gosh, I thought you were. I love Hong Kong. I've been there years ago. It's really nice place. Um, tell everybody about yourself.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa Tong. I am a award-winning storyteller. I shorten company sales cycles by way of storytelling. And I've been doing this for over 25 years. Worked a lot with Fortune 500 clients, such as Nissan, Verizon, Wells Fargo, Walmart, just to name a few, and helped them raise sales up to 400%.
Brilliant, really good. And so, um, storytelling. What do you? Is it storytelling for children, adults? What kind of
Storytelling for business.
business? Right. Okay.
Storytelling for business only. I don't tell stories for children.
Uh,
Not now. Maybe later. I don't know.
no, why I said that for is because I've had some people on here who have like talked about children's
Yeah,
books.
absolutely. That is absolutely profession. Yeah.
You know, yeah. And I knew, but my audience are probably thinking storytelling for what, So, and that's good for business. So, if someone comes to you and they say to you, "I need help with my business," what do you do?
Well, if they come to me and they said they need help with the business, what I do, yeah, then I say I shorten sales cycles for businesses by way of storytelling. So I help people apply storytelling in every aspect in the business to drive sales, shorten their sales cycles, and to gain more customers.
And how do you do that? How do you gain?
How do
How
I
do you
do that?
gain? Sorry.
I How do I do that? I do that by figuring out a few things. I do that by figuring out their why story. Why did they start the business? It doesn't matter it's product or service in the first place. I help them figure out why their business, product or service is different from their competitors. And then lastly, I help them figure out why their customers should care about the products or service.
Right. Okay. And then when you kind of like talk to their business and they're at a certain point to kind of like get started, say. Do you give them support on the way?
Oh yeah, of course. I hold their hands pretty much, all the way. So I don't just give them exercise and then send them home and then never talk to them again. No,
Mm.
it's quite a process because like I was explaining, earlier in another podcast. So let me give you a good example. I worked with a CPA once. He said that, he loves helping people save money from Uncle Sam and he loves working with numbers. And I said, okay, well, that sounds good and sounds okay, but why did you do this? He said, well, I don't really have a why. And my why is just I love working with numbers and like helping people save money, and that's my why. I said, no, that's not your why. That's saving money, helping people save money is the result of your why, but that's not your why. He said, no, I don't really have a why. I say, no, you do. Everybody has a why. So I went down the memory lane with him. I asked him a lot of questions about his practice, his customers, any good or bad memories, any good or bad experiences, from any particular customers. He said, no, not really. They're, pretty basic. So I said, okay, well, let's look at, your adult years, before you started your firm, any special experiences that you can share with me. He said, no, not really. So I said, all right, let's look at your college years. What did you do in college? He said, well, I played some sports. I was in some team, but, I was a pretty average student. So nothing really extraordinary. I mean, it was not bad, but nothing, crazy or extraordinary happened. I said, okay, let's keep going. So finally, we went back to when he was 7 or 9 years old. He said his father was audited. So at that moment, he remembered standing there watching his father pacing back and forth and try to put his paperwork together. And he said the whole family the father was driving the whole family crazy because everyone was so stressed out and nobody could really help the father. So at that moment, as a young child, he decided that wow, he wanted to be the hero to help his father, and that memory got stuck in his mind. So when he got older, when it came time to choose his major in college, now he didn't even know that it was a conscious choice. Subconsciously, he remembered that moment, and it was like I said, it wasn't conscious. Subconsciously, because he already made up his mind back then that he wanted to do something to help his dad. So he decided to go into accounting and be an accountant. So now he could be hero for all his customers. So see, so that was decided back then when he was 7 or 9, but he totally forgot about that experience. And until I started asking him questions. So we together brought that why back onto the surface. So that was his why. So now the way he talked about his business is he doesn't just say, oh, hi, I'm a CPA, I love numbers, and I like helping with people anymore. He went into his story about why at 7 or 9 years old he decided to be the hero for his father so that his father didn't have to go, so his future customers didn't have to go through what his father went through. So now he's doing the same thing for his customers. You see, so that's why everybody has a story, and the stories is very important because you can build an emotional connection with your customers using your story.
Right, brilliant. That's really good. What do you, what started you off doing what you're doing?
I'll give you a kind of medium version. I was fascinated with stories, ever since I was a little girl. I was the oldest grandchild in both my mom and my dad's side, and they both have big families. So as a young child, my mother would make me just sit there watching all the adults telling their colorful stories to each other. And I don't remember how many times I've done that. And then as I got older, I started watching soap operas on TV. But when I got into college, when I was in high school, I remember, I wanted, I love seeing movies. And then when I got into college, I made sure that I had one afternoon off so I could go to this art house theater to watch a foreign movie. And every week I would do that. And after I came out of the movie theater, I remember I was feeling so alive, so free, and so fulfilled at the same time. it's as if I have lived a different life and then came back. That feeling never left me. But I had no idea that I would ended up, telling stories as a living. So fast forward, I came to the US in 1991 with a one-way ticket and three large suitcases because I decided to leave Hong Kong and then get a master degree from overseas. So after I finished school, I got a job as a TV news anchor, reporter, and producer. And at the time, because I was the newbie, they said, okay, we're going to give you the least important segment, and that was the human interest segment. You have 5 minutes to fill every day. So every day I would, go cover, a story about health, beauty, technology, science, red carpet events, movie premieres, you name it. In the 4 years, I ended up interviewing thousands of people from all walks of life, including Hollywood celebrities and prominent figures, and covered over 1,200 stories. So that really laid a very solid foundation for me as a storyteller. But again, I didn't realize that was my calling. So during the job, I fell in love with producing. So after that job, I got myself another job working for CBS Studio on one of the primetime TV shows called Martial Law. So I did that for 2 years. And then after that, I started my own company, started telling stories on video, making TV commercials and branded content for Fortune 500 companies such as Nissan, Verizon, Wells Fargo, Walmart, just to name a few. But see, again, I thought producing was my gift. I didn't realize storytelling is really my gift. Not until a few years ago, I went through a divorce and then I started looking at all my skill set, and I was trying to figure out, okay, what is the thing that I can truly use to help other people and to serve. So, and then looking back, I realized that wow, I was actually telling stories since '94, and and then that was the moment that I realized, wow, so my gift is not in directing, it's not in producing, my gift is in telling stories. So that's how I started rebranding myself as the storyteller.
Right. Okay. Good. Good. And tell me some of your plans that you got.
Tell you some of the sorry.
Is that your phone?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, hang on.
Can you stop that for a minute? Or yeah. Tell me some of your
Yeah,
plans you
I did.
got for.
Okay, sorry, it's say your question again.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Tell me some of your plans that you got so that people will kind of like probably contact you. So do you have any plans out there? Do you have any kind of like plans like plan A, plan B, where people kind of like contact you and say, "Oh yeah, I need help."
Yeah, you mean some of my clients or some of my
Yeah, yeah. Well, your classes, or if you do group sessions, or
okay. So I work with people mostly one on one,
right,
and to figure out first of all, their origin story, their brand story, and also how to really apply storytelling in their branding and marketing, and use it to shorten the sales cycle, to drive sales, and gain more customers. Now, I still do TV commercials and branded content. So if you say, okay, I have a new product coming out or I have a new service coming out and I want to shoot a mini TV commercial, what story can I use? So I can also help you figure out what is the best story in terms of marketing your new service and product.
right, okay. So you can help people do commercials, yeah,
Yeah, TV commercials. Yeah, like I said, I do all things storytelling. So
right,
aside from TV commercials and branded content, I also help people figure out their brand story, their origin story, and how to apply storytelling in every single way they communicate to your clients to shorten the sales cycle and get more customers.
brilliant, very good, very good. And do you have a website where people can kind of like have a look
Yeah,
at your website?
absolutely. So my website is a very unusual name. called Duck Punk. That is the name of my company. So it's spelled with it's the duck, like the animal duck, DUCK, and then punk, like punk rock. So duckpunk.net.
Right. Okay. Brilliant. And um, and also, what would you say to people now who's listening if they need, if they need your service?
Well, storytelling is all about connecting to your audience on an emotional level and use that emotional connection to shorten the sales cycle. So for example, if usually it takes, 7 or 9 touches to acquire new customers. And if you're using the storytelling method, then maybe you can shorten the sales cycle to 3 or 4 times. So that end up saving you time and money because instead of using 7 or 9 touches, you can now get it down to 3 or 4 touches. And also, storytelling, it's the way to illustrate a point to promote a new product or service and wrap it in a storytelling format so that your audience can truly get what you're trying to sell. Because a lot of times it's very challenging for people to articulate what their business is about and what are they trying to sell to their customers. And if you cannot really articulate that in a way that can cause an emotional connection, then people sometimes will tune out and people don't remember. So this is just a very very handy skill set when it comes to commerce to use it and to truly connect with your customers and get them to buy quicker because people don't buy based on facts. People buy based on emotions.
Right. Okay. And lastly, I'd just like to say thank you very much for joining us. It's
Yeah,
been
absolutely.
really,
Thank you for having
really, really, really good. I'd love to get you back again because I want to talk to you more about what you do. Is that
me. Okay.
okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
what I'll do is I'll get my wife to contact you, and
Okay.
oh, it's all done. She's already contacted you.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right, we're so quick on the mark here. It's unbelievable.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right.
All right. Well, bye for now.
Thank you so much. Thank you.